Nothing works at the beginning at start. There is a problem in the Japanese society where the older generation is left on its own and the younger generation no longer want to get married or make unions. And the problem is the isolation within the older generation simply because they feel they are entitled because they had gone through the war and revived Hiroshima. How to serve eba, Edo style, in a Japanese way. The Japanese do not want one finger touched anyhow with their hands. That pristine attitude has actually created a vacuum in the young minds that they are inadequate. How to serve eba the Japanese way. I am going to use, I don't have gloves here. So for starters, I'm going to use these black rubber bags. Yeah, and I'm going to put my fingers in it. Sticky stuff. You always have to clean the towel. You always have to wash the towel. You guys don't even realize what sushi makers are going through. Constantly having to do something new. Sticky stuff needs water. I feel really terrible for the Japanese sushi makers. Where they are not allowed to veer away from old standards. Hence, there is a market issue. I've gone through YouTube and I've gone through Google and I've searched. There isn't enough viable information, so I'm forever having to play guessing games. Here in Nigeria, we don't have hygiene, so people are afraid of going into restaurants. All the restaurants are empty. If you don't trust that this has been washed, at least the gloves can help it. You simply use Eva water, put it in a bowl, dip in water. I don't have oil right now so that it doesn't stick. So I simply make a hole in the middle. How can you eat this with chopsticks? Japanese eat with hands. We have some black people who have been trained in the British style to eat with fork and knife. Yet they don't know what brain stimulation is when people are using their hands all the time to do things. In Nigeria, we serve here in Benin very well placed palm oil, and we fry our cassava. This allows us to be buoyant. We end up being out of thought when we leave the country. So most Nigerians end up being in bad hands with bad names. It is quite strenuous to measure everything by the dot. So people had invented these tools in order to measure things deliberately so that people do not cheat themselves or feel cheated when they have to give data. There are these keys, measuring keys for various things. The market is not being told, the women here. So most of the time when you're asking them what is your price for your food, they get angry. So here we're having okra soup. See, the Japanese culture will give you varieties of things, but they present a different kind of face when it comes to being outside. So yeah, here you have a vegetarian served Nigerian food. Who is going to say whether it was made with chicken, fish, or meat? So here you have the beauty in this creation. You can see it clearly. It's okra with some pumpkin leaf or bitter leaf. I don't know how I will react. So the chef might become nervous in being able to make. We have semolina, we have white gari, we have pounded yam, we have, and this is how you start training kids in basketball. You give them round things to play in their hands so that they are confident in what they are doing. Basketball is a game where everybody is confident, and that is why America pisses everybody up in showmanship, in entertainment. Personally, I played basketball when I was young. I pretty much understand the movements of hands, so body language is very easy for me to notice at the beginning. Startup City, you're welcome. BOA Online.